Hello everyone, thank you for checking out today's video. In this video, we're going to be covering how to create a script include on ServiceNow. Now here is ServiceNow's documentation on script includes. So it says script includes are used to store JavaScript that runs on the server. Create script includes to store JavaScript functions and classes for use by server scripts. Each script includes defines either an object class or a function. And it mentions here too that you may want to consider using a script include over a global business rule because a script include are only loaded on request. So I actually already set this up, so I'll just be walking you guys through what I did. So please feel free to pause the video if you want to copy the code and try it yourself. So to get to script includes, you just need to type in script includes in your all applications menu. Come down to where it says system and definitions and click on script includes. And let me actually show you the one I just made. So I created one called check if software. So right here, it's very important to put something in the name that is relevant to what your script is doing. Some people just kind of put generic names here in the name, but it's going to make your life a lot easier if you put a name here that's going to allude to what your script include is doing, as well as adding in a description. Now, I have mine enabled for client callable because I'm actually calling this on a client script on a catalog item. So I'll show you what I did with that next. You can go ahead and choose your scope that you want this to be accessible from. And what I was doing with my script include is first thing I'm doing is I'm setting up a function. So I set up a function called check group. From there, I'm creating my variables. So first variable is getting the user that is actually opening up the catalog item. So I'm actually populating the requested for field that I created, and it automatically pulls in that user's ID into the requested for field. And then I'm getting that user's information right here with this variable. Next, I'm creating a member variable, and it's set to false initially. And what this script include is doing is it's checking to see if the user is a part of the software group. And then if it is, then it's converting a read-only variable or a read-only field on the catalog item to yes. It is a very fringe and probably wouldn't use a script include in this manner. You'd probably use it for a lot more complex use cases, but you could still set up your script include in the same way. And then on the client script, you could just kind of have any downstream effects if that script include would return to true. Can't talk right now. All right, so moving along, we went ahead and set up our glide record, and we're actually gliding on the sys user group member table because we want to see if that user is a part of the software group. So we need to go ahead and glide the sys user group member table for that. So what we're doing first is we're adding in our query to search the user, and the user is this user ID right here. Like I mentioned, we're pulling in the requested for field on the catalog item, and then we're searching that user's information against the user field. Next, we're aligning that with any results that match the software group. So if the user's results bring up anything on the sys user group member table, in addition to that, it's also going to be seeing if that user is a part of the software group. From there, we initiate our query, and then if this query returns any results, then we change this member variable to true rather than false, and then we return that variable so that we can see what if it was returning true or false. So that way we can go and set up our conditions on our client script. Okay, so that was kind of the gist of what we're doing on that. Now let me go ahead and bring up my client script. Oops. Maintain items. Okay, and you already saw it in action. Ignore that. But this field right here is the one I was referring to that gets changed, and then this is the field that auto-populates the information of the user that is opening up the catalog item. So I'm logged in right now as system administrator, so it's auto-populating my name here. And let's get to the client script so you guys can see what that's doing. And it's right here. Okay, so this is an onload client script, so it does exactly like it says. It initiates upon the user opening up the catalog item. So what we're doing on our client script is first thing we're doing is we're initiating or setting up that variable that we're going to be using. So we're pulling in the value of the requested by field. So you saw it was system administrator. So this variable right now is pulling in that information. It'll see, oh, this user is the system administrator. And then from there, we're doing a glide Ajax. So we're pulling in our script include that we created. So we're From there, we're going to go ahead and call our function. So our check group function that is within the script include. So ga.para. So that's the variable that we use to initiate the glide Ajax. So within that, we're going to call the function check group. And then within that, we're going to go ahead and set our variable, our dynamic variable that we created on our script include, which is the this one right here. Okay, and then from there, we're going to go ahead and set up a callback function. Then we're going to create the callback function. We're going to set our answer variable. And what we're doing is we're pulling in the response from our function within our script include. And then if that answer returns to true, then what we're going to do first is we'll throw that alert. It'll say you're a part of the software group. And then from there, it'll set the value of that read-only field to yes. And that's pretty much it. So you guys saw it. Oh, you may have caught it. Let me go back here, actually. Okay, so you can see right here, because I set myself in the software group for my system administrator account, it says you're a part of the software group, and then it changes this to yes. But if I were to select a user that is not a part of the software group, so let me search the software group. I'll just impersonate a user that's not a part of the software group. And I have to do this as well. Hold on. Oh, I had this open in another tab. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I had the URL for the catalog item. Okay, so let's go to groups. Do software. And there's not that many users, so these are all the users that are in the software group. So let's just impersonate a user that is not a part of that software group. And you know what? And we also, I forgot to mention too, on our script include, when you set up a for it to be client callable, then you also have to select a role that is in place. So right now we have a role that checks to see if the user is a part of the has the ITIL role. If the user does not have the ITIL role, then the script include won't even run. So I need to make sure I have a user that has the ITIL role too. And is not a part of the software group. Just so you guys can ensure that this is working correctly. Okay, so we have Bo Ruggieri. So I don't think he's a part of the software group. You are not. Okay, so let's impersonate him. Here you are. Okay, and you can see that the script include checked to see if this user was a part of the software group, and they are not. So this variable remained as no. And like I said, this is a very fringe and niche use case, but if that answer was to return to yes, I'm sure you guys could find all sorts of use cases where you could auto-populate text fields. You could set or remove certain fields from this page. So say they're a part of a certain group, maybe they don't need like approvals. So then you could adjust your workflow because they're maybe themselves, the person that's opening up this catalog item is a approver. So you don't even need for them to initiate any approvals because you can see, oh, they're a part of this group or they have this role. They don't need approvals. So I'll just go ahead and remove that field from my catalog item. So you could do all sorts of things like that. So script includes are great. So you're not having to go in and create the same script over and over and over again. And yeah, that was one use case. I will be putting out another video with another use case that adds a little bit more detail to your catalog items while initiating or utilizing a script include. So look for that video very soon. If you guys enjoyed this video though, please consider giving this video a like. Please also consider subscribing to the channel. Catch you all in the next one very soon.